I know that it is Wednesday, and you guys know what that means. We are live. The Comics Pals are live with Pals Pulls. The gang's all here. We are live right now on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for joining us as people roll in on Twitch. We have four interesting books to talk about. This is probably the most diverse week we've had here on Pals Pulls so far.
For the most diverse podcast.
Well, yeah, that we turned that corner at the new year.
I don't think that's the case. I think most of those people on these books are white.
Yeah, probably. But we're talking Suicide Squad Blaze #1.
Blaze it.
420. Speaking of which, Scorched.
Hey, blaze it again.
Yep. #2. We have Devil's Reign.
You know where it's hot.
#4.
But blaze it.
Devil's Reign does sound like a weed strain or something.
I could see that. I mean, Devil's Lettuce, right? I could see that. And now let's see how you guys are going to figure out how to make this one tie in. X Deaths of Wolverine #2.
My man's not smoking a cigar.
A cigar?
You know what? You got it. Good job, Marco. There are plenty of ways you guys can support the show just before we get into the reviews here. By the way, say hello in chat as you file in. If you're here hanging out with us and going to kick it with us for a little while, do say hello. Leave us a follow if you're in the chat right now and you're not. Subscribe if you would like to help us out. YouTube.com/thecomicspals, where you can subscribe to our channel for free. Like this video, share it with your friends. All that is free to do, and it helps us out a lot more than it costs you. You can write to us at thecomicspals@gmail.com, and make sure that wherever you listen to the show, podcast hosting platform, doesn't matter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you're leaving us a follow, a rating, and a review. Also, if you are behind on a couple of episodes of the main show, give our shorts a listen. We've got some YouTube shorts up. Just a little teaser of what kind of hilarity we're getting into on the main show if you want to be enticed to jump on board. And so, yeah, let's jump into it. Let's get into Suicide Squad Blaze #1. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. This first issue is by Simon Spurrier. I could tell that was very obvious. Without even looking at the credits, there's no other person who could have written this issue. Aaron Campbell on art. Jordi Belair did the colors. Aditya Bidikar did the letters. All-star creative team. But man, was this long.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It took, I'm going to tell you guys right now. I started reading this comic book on the train home, okay, from Midtown. And I stopped reading it, got home, and it still took me another 15 minutes to finish the book once I was home. Unbelievable.
It took me 15 minutes to get through the first 4 pages.
Yeah.
Because my attention would drift. The dog would need something. I just, I'll go take care of that real quick. This book did not hold my attention whatsoever.
Yeah.
Tyler, notably quiet over there.
Oh, just doing tech support while I'm trying to do this, but no, that surprised me. I actually really like this issue, so I'm a little surprised about that. But
well, let's talk about it. So I'm gonna set the stage. First of all, it starts in a way that again is very, very Simon Spurrier. It is a super long intro to a concept that I don't even think I fully get. I'm not sure what the actual threat is in this book, and I'm sure one of you guys will fill me in, but I didn't get it. But once we got past that, I thought that we got into some really interesting stuff. The setup of, the Suicide Squad that we kind of know from the movies and comics, saying, hell no, we don't want a part of this Blaze BS, which is, by the way, full spoilers. You guys know the deal over here. The Blaze is basically giving powers to people or an enhancement of your powers if you already have them, and then you die. after a certain period of time, you just die. You burn out. I love that concept, and I thought it worked really well. And all the Suicide Squad members being like, "Nah, I'm not gonna be dying in 45 days, whatever it is." And then they have to basically bring on a new crop of Suicide Squatters. That was great. I like that.
Cal, just because it's coming up to me in my head right now. This is the premise of Thunder Agents, right?
I don't know what Thunder Agents is.
Sean, I think you're muted.
Am I muted?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
What's Thunder Agents?
It was like an old pulp property where government agents would inject people with superpowers, and they would eventually die.
I mean, yeah, it's not a particularly novel concept, really. I mean, it's to an extension, to a degree, an extension of the Suicide Squad concept.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I liked it as a setup for a story. I thought it was fine.
I thought it was.
Go ahead.
Please. I thought it was fine. I don't know. Nothing in here made me care about it, though. I kind of felt like Amanda Waller's speech about it. What does she say? Within that time, you'll burn brightly. You'll achieve incredible things. You'll eclipse whatever sordid little disasters punctuated your lives with feats of godlike majesty. Like that doesn't sound like Amanda Waller to me.
Sounds like Cy Spurrier to me.
I feel like that does sound like Amanda Waller to me, though, because I feel it's tongue in cheek.
How do you mean?
It doesn't read tongue in cheek.
I could see that
as tongue in cheek.
I could definitely see that. It's hard in comics to get that across, especially with a character like Amanda Waller. And I don't think that the art is selling that POV.
Fair.
If she read it deadface, deadpan,
Right.
like her character in the film, I think it would have worked really well.
Yeah. I'll say this. If this issue ended after the trial by fire, for lack of a better phrase, I probably would have enjoyed it quite a bit. You'd also have to cut out some of the earlier bits. I just think this issue took way too long to get going. But if it was a standard sized issue and it ended after the team was assembled, I would have thought this was pretty good. But Cy Spurrier's got to cut the words down. I swear, it's just too much. I love him. I think his concepts are great, but my God.
So traditionally, I don't like wordy books at all, which is why I don't like most of the Spawn books, which we'll get to. But I've grown to like the wordiness of Cy Spurrier. I don't know what it was. It was probably Hellblazer. This team on Hellblazer was fantastic.
It works so much better in Hellblazer to me.
Yeah.
Fair, because Constantine is a talkative motherfucker.
Wait, he's a wordy asshole.
Yeah, so it makes sense there. And I think in a way Amanda Waller is too, but that it's not her POV in this book. Instead, we get the POV as some kind of no armed simp. It's just really the simp squad is what this book wound up being, really.
I like Tanya though.
Yeah, I bet you do, Sean. I bet you do.
I don't know. I feel like the wordiness can work, but not for these characters, because then you have to really give them a lot of personality, and that's fine. But I think it's hard to do for newer characters in this short of a time span, where we have to, one, get through just the setup, and then two, have to give us a reason to care. And I think that was hard to do so in such a short time frame. Like, you have 49 pages here, but half of the book is really just setting up why we should care for this one guy, and then the extension beyond that. And I thought that was hard to do.
Half of the book was spent setting up the problem.
Yeah.
And by the way, does anybody actually understand what the problem is? Because like I said, I don't.
Oh, I do.
So
Yeah.
it was described as a Superman like person with absolutely no morals.
I read it differently.
I read that in a summary somewhere. I don't know where I read it, but
I think that's what's happening, but that's not the real reason for it. There's this monster-esque kind of character that's going around the world and randomly picking up people from the street or wherever they are, killing them, maiming them, even assaulting them in the middle of the air and dropping their corpses down. And the fact that it's so random is what is really kind of jarring people.
Yeah.
And Superman can't deal with this.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, for some reason the Justice League, like they have, I mean they have the conferences or whatever, but it doesn't really say why they can't.
Don't have the bandwidth. It felt like somewhat, I don't know, some weird non-explained political reason. Like there's some sort of PR situation that they have to handle or hide behind.
They were talking about optics.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that was weird because if you're trying to stop this crazy person from doing that, like I don't know if that, like from an optics standpoint, that makes sense. Like why not stop them as the Justice League?
That's kind of the problem with the Suicide Squad, is that they really can't. They have to be a covert ops team. They can't really handle problems that are forward facing, because then you have to always ask, well, why is the Justice League not dealing with this? And I know you're not supposed to ask that question, but the Justice League is literally in the comic. So when I see Superman, I think, well, okay, he could just go handle this. And the book doesn't convince me that he cannot. So that was a struggle as well. Looks good, though. Aaron Campbell.
Fuck off, man. Yeah.
I don't know. This felt like, for the Suicide Squad, a different vibe. I love Aaron Campbell's work, and I think it fits very well. I went back to read an issue of Hellblazer just to like sort of reorient myself with the art, and it looks. I feel like it fits much better in that kind of an environment. This felt very. I don't know. It felt a little muddier and murkier for what these characters would do, and I feel like part of that is because we read the Bruno Redondo stuff, and that was just like bright and pop art, and I think that fit very well for the Suicide Squad. But this was like a horror tinge that I don't know, for me, didn't work as effectively. It worked, but I think it could have been done better in a different style.
I like Aaron Campbell from Infidel. We did a book club on that. It's a really, really great book. And
it's by Pornsack, right?
Yeah, Pornsack wrote it.
Very good book.
I don't know. I think his art style being applied to this was pretty cool. It's different, but it worked for me. Yeah, I don't know.
One thing I did appreciate was just the lettering on this one. Like there are moments where they tried to make it. I think sometimes it was a bit overused, but they tried to use like the smaller words to sort of emphasize volume. It worked in some moments. I think it got overused. And one of the moments where I first noticed it was kind of egregious on page 8. There's just these like 5 panels, and there's a moment where the narration goes well in small, and then it goes this world, and then the this is bolded. I'm like, all right, that was a little cheeky because you're going from like a small word to like a bolded loud word. I guess like that works functionally, but I don't know that it's necessary all the time. And there were moments where I found myself trying to follow how you would use that kind of inflection, and it didn't always work.
Sean, was this oversized?
Yeah.
Black Label?
I'll show you.
I had a tough time on the iPad. I don't know about you, Marco.
You got the good cover,
My eyes must be
Thank
getting
you.
tired.
No, Kale, I have issues with Black Label books on the iPad as well. Because the iPad, the formatting is not the same. It's not square, really. So it's like, I got to put it full screen, but then I have to like scroll just a half an inch. And like, if I really want it to fit the whole screen, then it's too small. Yeah, I get you.
Really?
Did you realize that one guy's power is essentially Drake from the Sprite commercial?
What?
He can literally just like explode his face out into like little bits and pieces and like shoot it. And like
That's hilarious.
all I was thinking of was that goddamn Drake Sprite commercial.
Wow, dude. You really are a repository of pop culture.
I don't think that's, I mean, that is pop culture. That's what they call
Hey.
soda where I am.
Well fucking played.
There we go.
I am gonna say pass.
Really?
Respectfully. I love all these creators. I think they're super talented. I think this was a great effort, but it's way too long for me, and I don't think that it justifies itself.
If you're into the Suicide Squad, I think it's an easy pull, but for me, it's a very easy pass.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same camp. I think I might pass this. I love the team. I adored the team on the Hellblazer run, but this, I don't know. They weren't firing on all cylinders for me.
This was my pick of the week.
Oh,
Aw.
I really liked it. I thought
Aw.
I like the Suicide Squad. I like this select group of characters. It's like an all-star cast. I like how King Shark freaked out from the blood. Like
He was
I've
so
been there,
cute.
buddy. Yeah, he was adorable in this. So
I did like that.
Well, before we get on to the next book, I do want to jump into the comments real quick. Harris said, "Legit forgot this book came out. If it is tough to get through, then I'm glad to skip it." Yeah, I mean, I know that you probably like Suicide Squad more than I do. So it might actually be for you. Really, honestly, to me, it depends on whether or not you like Cy Spurrier's writing. By the way, Rick and Morty versus Rick and Morty. What the hell? Oh, cool. Rick and Morty versus Rick and Morty. Meek Seek's Adventure one shot was a blast. Nice.
Rick and Morty, isn't that what happens when you die? Your body gets Rick and Morty.
All right, okay.
All right. Well,
I'll leave, guys.
You know,
I can't leave.
let's talk about a book that was better than that joke. Scorched. Scorched number
better?
2. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty weak, you know. Sean Lewis with additional edits by Todd McFarlane. His role in the book changes every single week. It's crazy.
He's a man of many hats.
Yeah. Steven Segovia still on art. Arif Prianto on colors, and World Design did the letters. Look, I said that this was better than Tyler's joke. I stand by that. Was this a good comic book? Not this week.
It's a bad joke, though.
Not this week. Not this time around.
Yo, I
This
like
is a
this
bummer.
one.
Okay, Marco, go ahead, dude.
I like
Go
this
ahead.
one.
Onslaught brain over here.
Yo, I don't know what it was, but for some reason, the writing on this, I started it. I'm like, okay, I'm following. This is on point. There were just moments where things felt fun. Nothing felt super. Especially, I read this coming off of Suicide Squad, so there wasn't as much of the wordiness that I feel like I'm used to, and so that shocked me. And I'm like, oh, I was able to engross myself into the story. The art is phenomenal as always. The action was well paced out. I think there were good moments. And yeah, dude, I had fun with this one. This was good.
Okay. All right. Not what I expected. I thought that there were definitely some bright spots. Like, I like the action. I like when Spawn pulled up and just started killing people. But I just thought the dialogue was rough. And it's weird because
It's bad.
I think Sean Lewis has done good work in the Spawn universe, but this might have been this was tough. I thought, from a dialogue standpoint.
You think the edits were Todd messing with dialogue?
He's definitely the one that wrote "Take my rocket launcher."
Yeah.
Which you mentioned
Word.
that, and like that's the one part I liked about this whole issue was that She Spawn does a rocket jump.
Yeah, that
like,
was pretty
using
sick.
FPS skills here. But
I felt I've been playing old video games a lot, and it reminded me of how, like, in an old, like, for example, I was playing Captain America and the Avengers, and in that game, you're running around, and at some point, Wonder Man comes because you gotta like fly, and obviously like Cap can't fly, so Wonder Man comes and he's holding a small little vehicle for Cap to fly in, and he just throws it at Cap. It bounces off his head, but Cap's like, "Thank you, Wonder Man." This reminded me of that. why is the only function of this dude to just hand her a rocket launcher? Like it had that energy to me.
Well, he also let the innocent bystanders die. So
That's true.
So
Yeah.
he's extra useless.
yeah.
Also, doesn't she spawn like she's giving me Spider-Woman vibes? Like she looks like she reminds me of Spider-Woman in costume.
You're telling me that a Todd McFarlane book is derivative of parts of Spider-Man?
Fair enough.
Plague Spawn doesn't remind you of anyone?
You mean them literally saying symbiote multiple times in this issue?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Wait, Carnage, right? Am I on?
I mean, just
Any of them, really.
Venom, yeah. Overall,
Take your
yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
Toxin.
You want to go? You want to go? Can we do this? Riot.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Riot.
Give me three
Riot. Shit. I'm blanking here. What's the one that's a cat now? What's the one that turns into a cat?
I thought it was just Venom.
Shriek? Is that one of them?
Oh,
No. Shriek is not one of them. Shriek is Carnage's girlfriend.
I don't know. Manic. That's a Venom, right? That was post Remender
Yeah.
Venom.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I have one in the chamber. Lasher.
If you have to think about it, you didn't have it in the chamber.
Lasher.
Lasher is one of them, yeah.
yeah.
Is that all?
I got nothing. That was the last one I had. I got
All
nothing.
right. All right. Fair enough.
I got one.
That's a blank spot for me.
Grimer.
Guys, Marco's got one.
Yeah, Grimer. And
That's a
Muck.
Ghostbusters character. Oh, it's Slimer. Never mind.
Haha.
Just all over the map. Yeah, this was, I don't know. I want this to be better. I like the action, and I feel like that's just not the problem in the Spawn books. It's everything else. Like their mission is kind of flimsy. They have to protect these girls, but they just suck at it. And it's weird that they suck at it. Like, all right, there's a ship, right? Some kind of what they call it, a Raven.
Yeah, F-16 or
Boy.
some shit just comes in. Brrrah.
Just
And-
like a raven.
I feel like that would be a thing that they would think of, because the book talks about how they've beaten and defeated all these tactical geniuses throughout history.
Yeah.
But all it took was one Raven to blast this girl to smithereens. And I don't get that.
I also
Um,
appreciated that they I read issue 1 before this. They also were protecting these girls for at least 24 hours. No one gave them any clothes.
No,
Yeah.
can't do that.
Not a pair
because
of pants
reasons.
on the campsite.
Not in a
No.
Spawn book.
The colors I thought were really good. Arif Prianto, I wanted to shout them out again because I thought the colors were cool. I think shoot, I forget this guy's name. This guy, this Spawn right here.
Night Spawn.
For those of you on YouTube, that is
Medieval.
Oh, Medieval Spawn. Thank you very much. I think Medieval Spawn looks badass. Obviously, sporting the red, white, and blue. I just think he looks super cool.
Yo, when he came down and sliced the knockoff Venom's arm or whatever, that was hot.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. It's good stuff.
All right.
I know that Grimer is a Pokemon. That was on purpose.
By the way, no numbers here, just this symbol now.
Were there numbers on the Scorched, or was it just
I
the
don't
Spawn
remember.
book?
Kale, do you just read it? Do you remember?
There were no numbers in Scorched.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what that is supposed to represent anyway. So,
Hopefully, it's a timer for when we can stop reviewing these Spawn books.
the timer is decided by the viewers. If they don't want to tune in, then we stop. But as it stands right now, even though I say pass, unless you're a Spawn fan, we will be back for the next one for sure. We will review every issue.
Yo, you know what? Pull this.
Tyler's face. yeah, absolutely. Pull it if you like Spawn. You already know what you're getting. Like mostly mediocre dialogue, really great art, and badass characters. That's it.
It's like going to a Sonic for a hot dog.
Yeah.
It's like you know what you're getting. Is it great? No, but
Yeah.
it's
But listen,
reliable.
you came
I guess.
here.
Look, the book we reviewed just before this was a lot more ambitious, and you anticipate getting a lot more out of it. And from that, I was disappointed. From this, it's like, well, I don't expect, I'm not looking for anything major. I just want to have a good time. And I had a decent time, I still say pass unless you're a Spawn fan, but whatever. Let's jump into the comments real quick. Are we talking about we're
still talking about Grimer, I think.
Grimer.
Grimer
Which
Muck
is a
Boy.
Pokemon.
Catherine says, I figured, but with my knowledge, I could have been convinced it was a symbiote.
Well, it was
least you
the
didn't say
symbiote
it.
first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about Devil's Ring. How about that? Something that is good without reservation or hesitation, right? Chip Zdarsky.
Well,
What?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
everyone
let's
got
get to
takes
it.
this week.
Oh boy. Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto, Marcio Menez on colors, and Clayton Cowles did the letters. Kale, go ahead.
I didn't hate it. Let me be clear. I didn't hate it. But it felt very fast. It felt like a lot of things happened and then just paid off. And there was no room to breathe, and not in the good way.
As an example.
Geez.
The prison scene I can see being that.
The prison scene was one. The Rhino taking on, I don't know what these kids are. The champions, I guess.
Yeah, the champions, yeah. I was going to say Young Justice, but I realized that's wrong.
Yeah, Young Just Us. Wilson Fisk is with Typhoid Married now. That's probably not a thing, but
Yeah, that's old.
but it all just felt it felt like it was moving really fast and setting a lot of things up all at once.
Okay, I can see that. But I think I enjoyed some of that because I think it was me last issue felt like not a lot was going on, and so that was a bit satisfying to like get things moving again, and we got to focus a little bit more on some of the Daredevil stuff, and I didn't mind that. Like that was some of the stuff that I wanted that I feel like I didn't get last issue.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The one aspect in which I guess I kind of agree with Kale is that I wish this book could sit with moments and characters for a little longer. Daredevil is obviously, I mean, maybe it's not obvious, but like he's the main character. And so he should get more space, but then not only does he not get enough space, even though he probably is the hero on screen on page the most, there's no Luke Cage really. I need more. Like if this comic book were oversized, I'd be really happy because I think it needs that. But I'm still really happy with everything I got. I thought this was awesome.
How many spin-offs of this or tie-ins of this are there?
I mean, a lot.
There
Not
are?
like
Okay.
a really crazy amount, but
It's
a
not
lot.
Civil War level, but there
No.
are.
No,
quite a
no,
few.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up because I will preface this by saying I do enjoy this book as well, but I'm starting to see the cracks in it with like them having that Wolverine Doc Ock show up. Like that's in the Dr. Octopus miniseries. Like they don't let his adamantium octopus arms come out in it. Yeah, he has that back thing, but like how are you supposed to know who that is? Like the whole stuff with like Rhino is probably happening in the Thunderbolt series that's going on right now. Or Villains for Hire. I think that's what it's called. So there's like a lot of stuff that I feel like it's trying to pinpoint on these threads that are being told in other books, and it's trying so hard to make you not have to read those books. But I can see that effort being made, I think.
I think that's
In the main
probably
book.
what I was feeling.
Yeah.
Similar to like the comparison to Civil War is like, you have to go at a breakneck pace to cover so much. but there are a million tie-ins doing a million different things at any given time.
I think that this book would benefit a lot. I know it's getting the Omega issue, but I wish that the main series was 7 issues, not 6.
It's got a bit more time padded in.
Yeah, it feels like they're ramping up towards the conclusion already, and I'm not even remotely ready.
That 7th issue was the 2 weeks that we skipped.
What you mean? Oh,
Yeah, because this book starts off with 2 weeks later, you know.
right.
Which I wish hate in comics, honestly, but
I wish it was a bit of a slower burn throughout, and I wish we had more time for stuff. Like, for example, in what was, in my eyes, a clear allusion to Civil War, Kingpin's or Wilson Fisk's son, the Kingpin, spitting in his face, echoed Tony Stark getting that woman spitting in his face at the funeral for her son. It reminded me of that. But like, I want to see more drama between those two. You know, I could stand for more of that. I just want more of literally everything. There's nothing here that I'm upset about or tired of. I don't love the like weird different versions of Ak, but I want it all fleshed out more. And I don't want to read tie-ins to do that.
To that point on like wanting it or it feeling like it's ramping up already to the end. That last page was hot. That was cool. I popped off of that page. But now that you mention it, it is like that's it. That's like the big reveal, the big twist. At least it feels like it is. And we have 2 more issues, right? But still, it doesn't feel like we've had the time to really get there yet. Because this felt, to Kale's point, like, oh, we're here already.
Yeah. Still a really beautiful book, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and show that last page because I just think it looks awesome. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, super
And
cool.
The
Nice.
callback
So
there to Daredevil Born Again is great.
Yeah.
You know, because that's when Kingpin found out who Daredevil was, you know?
Yeah,
that got me real excited.
yeah, man. It's just I don't know. Like, despite everything we just said, the energy of it, the spirit of it, I think it's all fantastic, and I'm really enjoying it.
Pull this.
In the sorry,
I was just say pull this for sure.
yeah, absolutely, pull it. I'm just bummed that it's gonna end, and I know by the end I'm not gonna be satisfied. Not in the sense that it can't have a good conclusion or that it won't end well, just that I'll always wish we could have played in this space a little bit longer. But I like event series of old, which are drawn out affairs that encompass the whole universe. That's my jam. Matt in the chat asked, do you feel these event series had shorter links, longer page counts, less issues? If I'm understanding what you're asking, no. I think that in order to tell a good story in these events, you really need time. Especially because Marvel now doesn't really like to do event series that have build up that take place outside of the event. You need time to establish, set your players, have character moments and things that matter, and get to your end. This is 6 issues, and we're all kind of saying we feel like it needs more. So yeah, I think event series need more time, but there is such a thing as too much time, and it's a balancing act.
I feel like the pages have been consistent. I don't think like even in terms of length they've decided to really change anything up. Empire was what, like 7 issues or 6 issues, something like that,
somewhere in that space, I think.
Yeah, I think that was I think that might have been one of our first Marvel events on the show, at least, and
that we reviewed.
Yeah, and I think that book definitely, had it been written, I think, more, I don't know, cohesively, a bit better, I think the 6 issues could have worked, but there would have definitely been the need for more. And I think from a page count perspective, I'm a fan of more pages, more bang for your buck in that. So I think if something like this, Devil's Reign 4, would have had more space to breathe, I think would have made it that much more of an enjoyable book.
Yeah. Empire was 6 issues, by the way.
Okay.
Tyler, Kale, pull pass, trade weight.
If you're randomly thinking of picking up an issue 4 out of 6, then I don't know what you're doing there. But if you're still reading it, keep reading it. That's how I describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our last book, this is my pick of the week.
Same.
By default, it has to be mine.
X Deaths of Wolverine #2.
Let's go.
Yeah. This is by Benjamin Percy, of course. Federico Vincentini on art. Dijo Lima on colors. Corey Pettit did the letters and design. And Tom Miller, of course, is always credited as designer. I'm enthralled by this.
So okay, theory, right? I've been enjoying this. I think we've all mostly been enjoying this part of the run, and this being a follow-up to Inferno. Do we think that they're passing the torch off to Benjamin Percy because he's taking control of this Moira story at this point, and he's driving to wherever the conclusion is going to be? And that got me thinking, like, wait a minute, is that where the torch is being passed? And do we think that him and Gillen are going to be the people who are going to be driving the boat from now on?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Probably more Gillen. And I think Percy will handle like the murkier stuff, like the kind of the space that he has now. Maybe with a little bit more emphasis. Maybe he'll get the ball a little bit more often. I think he's proving himself. Sure. Certainly.
Yeah, I mean, with this issue, I had a lot of fun. I like the chase aspect of it. I like how Moira's this like spy character, which I don't know, it fits, it works. She's on the run and constantly in danger, and it makes for good action. I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Yo, any of you guys read Get Mystique ever? Because this is like a reverse Get Mystique, the Wolverine arc. It's so good. I think, oh god, was that Mark Miller? I don't remember who it was, but it's very good. It's after Civil War. Wolverine goes, I think it's after Civil War. Wolverine goes and hunts for Mystique. And he goes to all these different places trying to catch up with her, but she's always one step ahead of him. And, at one point he gets hit by a nuclear missile, which is pretty crazy. But this is like following that same formula, but it's the opposite. It's Mystique as the hunter, not the hunted.
So this issue confirms what my thought was in the first issue, right? That this is a Phalanx Wolverine from the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Finally right about something about the X-Men.
Interesting.
It's about time. Inferno didn't help me much, so.
But why is still the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that, right? I love that Percy gave us an answer out the gate. 2 issues in is not long. Something that we can rest assured about. Like, okay, yes, this is a Wolverine Phalanx version from the future. We still don't know why. The goal appears to be to kill Moira, but it might not be. And so I feel like there's still things at play that we have to concern ourselves with, but we got that one out of the way. I'm happy with that. Man, I don't like Moira's new look.
Well, I dig it.
Not into blondes.
Nah, I mean,
Redhead's all the way, right?
Don't. I mean, yeah, I guess it's because of her multiple lives or whatever. But I don't understand how all of a sudden Moira is just like Jason Bourne now. Like, she was a scientist. Like, how is she now able to just Aeon Flux ninja herself throughout all of the world and even amputate her own arm and cauterize it with a friggin' hotel iron,
That
which
was
those
wild.
don't get hot enough. Those don't get that hot.
I saw that and I went, you can't physically do that.
Yeah, I think your body would stop you.
Your brain would say, no, we're not doing this.
And wasn't she in the shower?
She's in the bathtub.
She's in a bath, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're probably right, but like addressing the fact that she's like now this great spy or whatever, or able to be on the run, that tracks. She's lived a really, really long time. And in her life with Apocalypse and her life with Magneto, I'm sure she picked up a lot of tricks and skills and stuff like that. She's pretty battle hardened, actually, based on that stuff.
I can see that for sure. That makes sense. Like one of those lives, she must have been, I don't know, in mortal danger and had to just adapt.
100%. The life with Apocalypse was insane. You know, remember that one panel we see of her with Apocalypse, and I think she has like a crazy gun or something. They took over Earth together. So, like, you know, she's been in the trenches. Moira's no slouch. Go ahead.
I think I like X Lives better.
What?
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on in that one.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it. I feel like Inferno. We got to the end of the Moira story. That's what I care about. And this just feels like a tag along follow up.
But do you feel like Inferno was that satisfying of an ending?
It was satisfying enough for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I really like what Harris is presenting. This is something that it was a loose thought that I let go of last time, but he's saying X Deaths of Wolverine is a Terminator story. Moira is Sarah Connor. Mystique is the T-1000. That makes a lot of sense, and that would cast Wolverine as,
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah, which makes a lot of sense. We don't know that yet, but there was definitely a time in T2 where we didn't know what side Arnold was on. So yeah, I'm into that.
The only Terminator film I've ever seen is the Christian Bale one.
What?
So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Watched Terminator.
Kale, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Do you get that?
Was that a reference?
Yeah. Oh my God. You guys never saw the
Get
video of Christian Bale flipping out on the set?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you delivered that a little too straight. A little too like you would just say that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said that last week.
All right, fair enough. I just figured, I was in company that knew about that. But yeah, I think this book is awesome. I'm really enjoying it. As far as who John Connor is, I don't know if it's Destiny. I don't know if we have a John Connor.
Would that be Xavier?
No. John Connor, Mystique, or Moira would be John.
If I understand.
She's John and Sarah at the same time.
More Sarah because she's like badass.
Well, no, but in terms of like the role of the character, right? In the Terminator
T2?
film, they're trying to kill John.
Yeah.
So she would be John. There is no Sarah. Sarah's Jean Grey.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the next issue of this. I really hope X Live starts to get coherent because I want to feel as good about that as I do this. But yeah, this book is tops. This was definitely my pick of the week, and it's not even close.
Yeah, it's fun. Same.
It's my pick of the week because I don't really have a pick of the week. So,
It's
By
Kale's
default.
apathetic pick of the week.
yeah.
Obviously, Paul.
Yeah, pull for
Sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh my God, the lack of enthusiasm is killing me.
I'm finished with Moira.
Fair enough.
Let's go.
Fair enough.
I was promised a Wolverine event, not a Moira event.
You know
I think
what?
that
That's fair. That's fair.
She had her chance.
I think that Inferno gives you a jumping off point for whatever it is that you're over. Like if you're done with Moira and you only cared about what Hickman had to say about her, then that's it. If you weren't on this podcast, you wouldn't need to know anything that's happening now. Like with in terms of, you know, Moira.
The life I could lead. But to me, so far, this has all felt very, I don't know, it feels rude to say paint by numbers, but like it all feels very, you know, the comparison to Terminator, like, you know, we've seen all this before. We've seen where all this is going. I don't know. It's not as thrilling to me.
But have we though? Have we seen where this is going? We don't know what's going to happen.
It's only issue 2. You're right.
How many issues is it?
5.
5. Okay.
5 of each, right?
Yeah.
Lives and deaths. Yeah.
That equals X altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, what's your bro?
I
wonder if I could
don't see where they cross over at this point.
I don't think they are. I was wondering that if they even will. But...
I'm calling it from now that one of the issues of X Lives will take place in the future and will show us how Wolverine becomes a Phalanx.
Absolutely. 1000%.
Okay. All right, I can see that.
Harris has a hot take. He likes Secret X-Men more than X Deaths this week.
I didn't get to it, but I will. I could have gotten to it if it wasn't for the length of Blaze, but also because I had to read my comics tag for the week.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So I was tagged by Kale to read Blacksad. Now you said A Silent Hell, so I went ahead and read that. But I couldn't get through the whole thing. It was just too much.
Yeah.
So I read what I could. Yeah.
In print?
No, I had to get it digitally. But I read what I could, and I feel comfortable enough with what I read to give you a general consensus about what I thought of it. It was all right. It was all right. The premise wasn't immediately engaging. Like I found myself struggling to care about what was happening. I assume that Blacksad is a character who has had other adventures, and if you are keeping up with that stuff, you'll know more about him than I do. So that probably has something to do with it. And then I gotta say, you know, they could have just been human.
Okay.
I like, you guys might know more than me. Obviously, you have read more of this stuff. Is there a thematic reason why they're not just human? Is there something being said?
I think the dude just wanted to draw animals.
Yeah, I think it's more fun to draw.
I know there's a lot of race allegory in these stories. Right. But past that, I don't necessarily think it's consistent. Excuse me.
You know what? I'm surprised that even like, this is like a European book, so I would have. I expected like a more lukewarm take. So the fact that you thought it was pretty like all right, like passable and serviceable is pretty good.
Yeah, there was nothing bad about it. I think everything was done well. It just wasn't really for me. And if I had finished it, maybe I would have turned the corner. There were aspects that I liked. Like, I am curious what's going on with this old dude. And the relationship between the pregnant lady and her man. I was interested in that drama. I wanted more of that stuff, but there was like this whole larger story with Blacksad and stuff.
Okay. You wanted more anthropomorphic people to get pregnant. Okay. Right.
Okay. Whoa, Tyler, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a clip out of me.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, Matt in the chat says, Guy does not want the world to know he's a furry so badly. I mean...
You know what? I was prepared to come on here and talk about how good She-Hulk looked in Devil's Reign, but I didn't do that.
She was in Devil's Reign?
Yeah.
I must have missed that one.
There's this whole side profile here.
Dude.
Okay.
Come on.
Yo, Sean and I are in the same vibe right now.
Yeah, man. But no, I'm not trying to hide anything. I am forward about my love of Cheetah. But that's not
It's true.
because
It's true.
Cheetah's a cheetah. It's because of Cheetah. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I like the character. I like the character. She just so happens to be a cheetah, you know?
Right. And there's no issue with that and totally
No.
about it. It's fine. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, everybody can live their life. All right, including me.
And furries.
Yeah.
And
live it.
furries, yes.
Live it,
and Kale and you, Tyler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wait, so you're admitting you're a furry, Tyler?
No, I do have a picture of me with a furry though. I found I was at an arcade, and then I found some furries walking down the street. Then I decided to take
Just
a
the
picture
other
with
day?
them. No, it was like last summer. It was like last summer. Yeah, furries probably during COVID, furries were like, "Yo, it's my time to shine. I don't need a mask. I got the whole get up already." So furries are thriving in this pandemic. So
Probably, dude. And I think it's their time. Like, look at Sonic Fox. The best fighting game player on
Yeah.
earth is a furry. You know,
our time is up.
he-
Their time is now.
you're right.
Is he still the best?
Um,
I didn't know if it had been updated yet or not.
What, wrestling?
Well,
Well, I mean,
figure
no.
they hold
Yeah.
a thing every year.
people have their time in the sun. I'm not sure what game Sonic Fox is currently playing, but the last game I knew about was Dragon Ball Fighters, and I'm pretty sure he was the best at that. So
I thought you meant, is John Cena the best still? I was like, oh.
he's the GOAT. What? Of course. You can't see him.
Is he good? I've never seen him.
He's good in Peacemaker, that's for sure.
So Harris says Sean likes redheads. That is true.
Redheads, as long as they're attached to fur.
So like a red fox
Oh, no. Oh,
Yep.
or a tiger. Cheetah's technically a
No.
redhead.
He is.
Yeah, technically.
yeah, great. I mean, that's even better. Like, you're not gonna hear me crying about it. So
Only every week on this podcast that he cries about it.
now it falls on me to tag one of you. I put some thought into this. I did, and I'm tagging Tyler.
Me?
Yes, I'm tagging you, and it was a challenge for me because I wanted to pick something that I really love that you haven't read. I feel like our tastes, especially when it
Okay.
comes to big two, often overlap.
And you know
So-
I haven't read this.
I'm very confident that you have.
Okay. All right.
And it's by a writer that I think you like, but it's
Okay.
not big two. Have you ever read Ed Brisson's The Violent?
No, I haven't. I do like Ed Brisson though.
All right, cool. So that's your tag.
Ed Brisson's
Um,
The Violent. Hold on. Who else is on this?
It's Ed Brisson and shoot, I forgot the artist. I will pull that up.
Adam Gorham.
Thank you.
Oh, Adam
yeah.
Gorham's good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's
Adam
good.
Gorham is good. This is one
Okay.
of both of their earlier works in the industry. I've spoken to Brisson about it a few times, and this was a book that like he really, really loves and wants to bring back, and it helped, his career. So yeah, it's 5 issues, criminally short, criminally underrated, criminally purchased. If you can get through as much as you can.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
50% off on Amazon right now. Yeah, fuck Amazon, but
gotta do what we gotta do, right?
Edit. Yo, it's on Comicsology Unlimited, I think.
Should be, yeah.
oh wait, I have Prime. Okay, I can probably
you
get
go.
that. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get some bad tags in here. This is getting a little too. Here, read this good book.
We're just
you know,
getting
too
good energy,
generous.
Cal.
You know what the problem is for me, Kale? I'll tell you the truth. The problem is for me, I don't read bad books, so I have no bad recommendations.
My man, you spend so much money at the comic book store. You're telling me you don't read bad books?
No. The only time that I buy a book that I think is bad is when we do this podcast. No, that's
I
not
don't
true.
read bad books, says the guy currently reading all the Spawn books.
But why am I doing that? Why am I making that sacrifice, Tyler? The reason
Clout.
that I do that,
Clout chasing the Spawn fans.
you're goddamn right. And by the way, I also happen to like Spawn. So
You're growing to like it. Yeah.
yeah. Hey man, I am a champion of Spawn, and that's what we need around these parts.
Slight Spawn thing. I was looking up a Spawn t-shirt like on eBay. I was looking up comic book t-shirts. Yo, people are selling like vintage Spawn t-shirts for like $500. I'm like, yo, Spawn fans are wild.
Wow, sounds like we just got a glimpse into the next journey into Gwistery.
Possibly. I already have that one settled, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get into the Pals Pulls, the titular segment on the show where we are going to tell you guys the books that we are looking forward to for next week.
Yeah, so I will go first with Iron Fist #1 by Alyssa Wong and Michael Yu. This is the new Iron Fist, who I'm pretty sure is going to be the Swords Master, who was previously introduced. I think that's the kind of the rumor that's been going on. I like a good Iron Fist book, so seeing more Iron Fist, I don't care where it comes from, I don't care who it is, I just want to see it. I'm kind of curious where Danny Rand ends up in this, as like a mentor, antagonist, piece of shit, who knows? But I'm kind of curious. And then pretty much on all of our polls for next week is the volume 3 of Crowded by Christopher Sabella, Ted Brandt, and Triana Farrell and Rose Stein. They've shifted over from single issues now to volumes, and this is the first one of those that we're getting.
This is the last. It's over. This is it.
Really? This is it?
Yeah. Yep.
Damn, that's a bummer because I have missed this book so much.
Yeah, dude. Crowded is
so
legitimately good. Yeah.
I think so. It's 3 volumes, so that's like a perfect like. Just pick that up from your shop, and like this is like just a good ass book that I think everyone should be reading.
I would recommend Crowded to literally any person.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. The art's great. It's fun.
The art's great.
This book.
Rose Stein and Ted Brandt should like fucking killing it.
Yeah.
They're great.
Big talent.
Ted keeps talking about a new secret project he's got, and I'm dying to know what it is. He's also
like
dying to talk about it. So these were also my polls. So thanks.
It's a light week next week. Yeah, I was having trouble. So, I mean, with Crowded on there, that's obviously going to be it no matter what. But, like, otherwise, it's a light week next week, guys.
Well, Marco had a couple, right?
Yeah, Marco, ever the indie darling, had Maniac of New York, The Bronx is Burning, #3.
Oh, I love this series.
Is this
so
just
much
Jason
fun.
Goes to Manhattan?
Yo, pretty much, dude. Like, chopping people up. What is it? Andrea Moody and art. There's just gore galore. It's fun.
Gore galore. That's one of my favorite drag queens.
Lots of action. Elliot Callan, man, just does a lot, and it's been a really fun series.
Is it funny?
No, not at all. It's just super serious. It's just like, I don't know. It's just good drama. I like horror books and the violence of it. It's good.
Okay.
Aftershock.
Cool. And then you also had
Aftershock. Wow.
Yeah.
Pronounce this one for me.
I don't know. The Fortune of the Winks
Dude
lads.
choked when I asked for the Pals Pulls.
This was a weird one. I don't know. I've had maybe like 1 or 2 other books from Ninth Cinebook. They do usually like history oriented comics. And so this is one. It's 1848 in Ottoman occupied Montenegro. A young doctor is leading a popular uprising. There's betrayal. There's references to pieces of history, and I don't know. I thought it looked pretty interesting. I'm a fan of certain books, history stuff. I have the history of Japan, I think, right behind me. Showa is like right over there.
That's a tome.
Oh, yeah. You're the new Eastmaster.
There it is. And yeah, dude, this looks cool. It's European team. I like European comics, so try it out.
Art on the cover looks really good. I'm seeing a little Darwin Cook here.
Yeah, it looks really cartoony. That's why that was one of the things that caught my eye was the art style. I'm a big fan of this kind of stuff.
Yeah. There must always be an Eastmaster.
And thus he rises.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Well,
those are our polls.
Those are our polls. Let us know what books you guys are looking forward to from next week. If you want to tag us for any particular book you want us to read, even if it's a weekly that's coming out that you just think we'll like, or you just want our take on, feel free. We will do it here on the show. Make sure that you guys are subscribed on YouTube. If you listen to this podcast at any given time, wherever it is, we really appreciate it if you just head on over to youtube.com/thecomicspals, click that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the year is out. That's a tall order, but we can do it. I'm confident. And special incentive, Kill will do a backflip.
Let's go.
I think we have gone down in subscribers last I looked. We're at 517.
Ooh. No, that's up.
Oh.
That's up.
Is
You're
that
not
up?
supposed to.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it was
of
522.
course it's up. It's always up, Kale. It's always up. Never down.
Ayo.
Unless it's down.
Never down.
Never down.
Unless they do like a bot purge, which happens occasionally. But, I don't think we have to worry about that.
No. So, yeah. Make sure you guys are subscribed over on YouTube. Hit that follow button here on Twitch if you haven't. And make sure you subscribe here as well if you'd be so kind. Join us on Saturday for the main show, which goes live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's been a light week, right? Nothing has happened interesting in the industry, right?
I don't think so.
No, just nothing, no crisis level events being announced at all. But
No.
Well, and certainly not a whole indie platform completely pissing off every single user it has and pushing them toward other platforms.
And I don't think that the leader of an awful, terrible group took a picture with the most controversial creator in mainstream comics right now, Jeff Johns. I don't think that happened. But we'll see you guys then to talk about it. And if you're not there,
if indeed it happened.
Right. If you're not there, we'll see you guys next week right here, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard for Pals Pulls. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, take care, guys.
see ya.
See you next week.